Okay, in order to proceed, we need to be aware of certain terms like what is higher potential, lower potential, earthing, P side, and inside. So, in the picture, I have mentioned some prerequisites required to understand the biasing configuration. You can see that the triangular side is called the P side, and the straight bar is called N side of the diode. And whenever I say ki the diode is earth or grounded, it implies that it has been connected to potential of 0 volt. Okay, now the thing is, what is biasing? First of all, we need to know biasing implies that the device is connected to a voltage source. So when you're connecting a PN diode across a voltage source, you're biasing the electrons to move in a particular direction, and that is why it is called biasing configuration. And biasing is of two types: forward bias and reverse bias. Depending on how you connect the diode across a voltage source, it is classified as forward or reverse, and in the concluding section we'll discuss this. Okay, now what is forward biasing? Forward biasing is when you connect the P side of diode to positive terminal or higher potential, and N side is connected to negative or lower potential. It is called forward bias. Okay, so there are two type of biasing configuration, and forward bias is one of them. So in figure 1 you can see that I have connected the positive terminal to triangle, and triangle represent P side, whereas negative terminal is connected to the straight line which represents inside of the diode, which we have discussed earlier. Okay, and in the second figure also you can see that the triangle is connected to plus 2 volt, which is higher potential, and the negative terminal, N terminal, is connected to earth to ground, which represent 0 volts. Okay, so when you are connecting the P side to higher potential, it is called forward bias, and if you are connecting it to the lower potential or the negative one, it represents forward bias configuration. And in the next picture we will be also I will be giving you some examples of forward biasing. Okay, so the triangle which is P side, it is connected to plus 5 volt, which is higher potential, and the N side, which is the straight line, is connected to plus 2 volt. So this is another example of forward biasing. And in the next picture, figure number 4, again the positive is connected to the triangle represents P side. I'm telling you this again. So it is connected to minus 2 volt, and the N side, which is the straight line, is connected to minus 5 volt. Again, minus 2 is greater than minus 5, so you can say technically, although both of them are connected to negative terminals, but still minus 2 is higher potential when compared to minus 5, so it is technically forward biased. And in the next example also you can see that the P side is connected to plus 2 volt, which is higher potential, and the N side is connected to ground, which represents 0 volt, and it is lower potential. So again this also represent forward bias. So these are the three examples of forward biasing configuration of a PN diode, in which the P side is always connected to a higher potential, and the N side is always connected to lower potential. Now in the next section we will proceed with reverse biasing of a PN diode, and we'll look at the examples key, how a diode is connected in reverse bias, or what actually reverse bias is. Okay, so you can see that reverse biasing is when P side of the diode is connected to a negative or lower potential, and the N side is connected to positive or higher potential, then it is called reverse bias for a PN diode. So we can draw the circuit diagram like this. First of all, we will draw the diode. Okay, so you can see that this is called the P side, the triangle, it is called the P side, and this straight bar, it is called N side. So I am connecting this P side to the negative terminal of the battery, and this N side is connected to positive side of the battery or the cell. So this circuit diagram represents reverse biasing configuration of the PN diode. Okay, now look at this. Here you can see that it is negative terminal, it is connected to -2 volt, and the ground, it is connected, N terminal is connected to the ground. So this is your P side and this is your N side. So I'm connecting this technically to 0 volt when I'm connecting it to the ground, and this is being connected to -2 volt. So technically this one is lower and this one is higher. Okay, so you can see that this diode is reverse biased. Okay, so in other two examples you can also see that here it is connected to lower potential. Okay, it is grounded, so the triangle which is P side is connected to lower term potential 0 volt, and the inside is connected to 2 volt which is higher. So this diode is for reverse bias, and in this case also you can see that it is connected to -5 volts, the P side, and it is connected to the N side is connected to -2 volt. So again the N side is connected to higher potential because -2, although it is negative, but when compared to -5 volt it is you can say higher potential. So you can see that all the three diagrams, this one, and this one, all of them represents the reverse biasing configuration of the diode. So you can see this circuit diagram over here. Okay, you can see that the voltmeter is connected in parallel across the diode, and this cell, the positive terminal is connected to P side and it is connected to negative terminal, and I have also mentioned the direction of current in the circuit. So we can proceed further that when the diode is forward biased, what actually happens. So when the diode is forward biased, the holes are pushed, you can say they are pushed towards N side, and electrons are pushed to the P side. Okay, I can show you the same thing by means of a diagram also. Now we will not make use of a circuit symbol, we'll try to visualize the actual diode using this diagram. So basically we can use a very simple circuit for this. We have connected this to P side and this to the N side. This is your P side, this is N side. So holes are here, okay, and electrons are here. So when you have forward bias them, these holes starts moving towards this N side, and the electrons will tend to move towards P side. As a result, the depletion region will start shrinking. Okay, so the width of the depletion region, you can say, of the depletion region, this charge free region between P side and N side, which was formed while formation of PN diode, the width of this depletion region starts decreasing. Okay, so you can the very first thing which happens while forward biasing a diode, that as soon as you forward bias it, the holes will start moving towards N side and electrons towards P side, and as a result the depletion region will start shrinking. Okay, so when the applied voltage is equal to threshold voltage Vt, you can say, then uh, then depletion region disappears, okay, and current starts increasing rapidly, starts flowing and increases rapidly. Okay, initially what was happening, you're increasing the voltage, okay, we are increasing the forward voltage, but the depletion is region is still there, so there is no current passing through the circuit. Okay, so we are raising the potential difference across this PN diode, and there was a barrier potential across the diode. So what is happening, your applied voltage, as soon as your applied voltage is equal to the barrier potential, and that voltage is called threshold voltage, the depletion region disappears and suddenly the circuit gets completed and a large current flows. So suddenly starts current starts flowing, and it increases very rapidly with further increase in forward bias. So now you're increasing the voltage, and as you increase the voltage from 0 to certain higher values, initially there was no current, and after a certain voltage the current starts increasing rapidly. Okay, so this is the basic characteristic of a PN diode in forward bias, and we can plot this thing over a graph. So the next thing is IV characteristics. Why do we say IV characteristics? Because in generally in conductors, we did in current electricity, we plot graph V versus I, that is voltage is taken over the y-axis and current is taken over the x-axis. But in semiconductors, we are taking current over the y-axis and we'll be taking the applied voltage over the x-axis. Okay, so it is IV characteristics of a of diode in forward bias. Okay, so we can take current on the y-axis and it will be forward current, so I can label it as IF, and the units will be milliampere because the forward bias current is of the order of milliampere, and this is your forward voltage, applied voltage, and it is taken in volts. Okay, so the basic plot is like this, and the point where this takes place, this voltage, the value of this voltage is taken as, is called threshold voltage. Okay, so beyond threshold voltage the current starts increasing very rapidly with further increasing voltage, but till this value the depletion region was there. So when you are increasing the voltage, you start voltage from 0, you start increasing it, the depletion region is shrinking, but the circuit is not complete yet, so there is no flow of current. But as soon as you reach this value, the depletion region disappears completely and circuit gets completed, and that is why current starts flowing and it increases rapidly. Uh, Generally this threshold voltage, it is of order of few volts. I can give you a range, let us say for 0.3 to 0.7 or 0.6 volts. Okay, so this is the range, or you can say the order of the threshold voltage for a forward bias diode. Now if I take as any two random points like this, so you can see this, that this thing is change in current and this is change in voltage. So the change in voltage required for change in current, it is called RD, called dynamic resistance of the diode. Okay, Why do we say dynamic? Because it is not obeying Ohm's law, and the curve is not flat, not a straight line. Okay, so that is why it is called a dynamic resistance, because the diode is still in active region and its resistance will be changing. But we get an idea, and it is of order of few ohms. Okay, so it's much smaller in forward bias, and the you can say the resistance of an ideal diode is 0 ohm in forward bias. Okay, so for a ideal diode, the resistance should be 0 ohm. It is taken as 0 ohm, but for a practical diode, although it is not 0, but it is quite small, and that is why we say that in forward bias the resistance of diode is very small and it can conduct easily. Okay, so in reverse bias, the P side is connected to negative. Okay, to negative, and N side to positive. As a result, the holes and electrons are pulled back, are pulled are pulled back. Okay, so you can see that if we take up the case of a reverse bias diode like this, so when you connect this to negative and this N side to positive, okay, N side to positive, so these holes will be pulled back by the negative terminal, because holes are positively charged, so negative polarity will pull them back, and similarly this positive polarity will pull back the electron. Okay, as a result, what is happening, the width of the depletion will starts increasing. So the very first thing which happens when you reverse bias the diode is the width of the depletion region starts increasing. Okay, as a result, the width of the depletion region increases. Width of the depletion region increases, and if we keep on increasing the voltage, the voltage the current do not flow the current do not flow okay, and all the charge carriers are removed. Okay, now if we keep on increasing this reverse voltage, say in the previous section I have discussed what happens on reverse biasing the diode, that all the holes are pulled back, electrons are pulled back by the positive and negative polarities, and your depletion region keeps on increasing. So when the applied voltage has taken out all the charge carriers in the diode, still if we keep on increasing the voltage, the circuit is not being completed, so there is no flow of current. Okay, so if we keep on increasing the reverse voltage, then at a certain at a certain voltage, which will be quite large compared to the threshold voltage. At a certain voltage, the diode breakdown occurs. Okay, diode breakdown occurs, and a large reverse current, okay, current flows. Before proceeding further, first of all, what is breakdown? So technically, initially you were increasing the voltage, but there were no charge carriers available to flow. If you look at carefully the depletion region, it was increasing, and now the span of depletion region has increased quite and has covered the entire part of the diode. So now there are no electrons in or holes in the depletion region, or you can say that there are both electrons and holes in the depletion region, but they are like this in combined state. Now what is happening, you're increasing the this part, I think this was P and this was a negative N, this was connected to negative and this was connected to positive. Now when you are increasing the reverse voltage, what is happening, the force, the electric force on this electron, it is increasing. Okay, because there are no charge carrier here to flow, but you're still increasing the voltage, there are no electrons or holes, current is not there, but you keep on increasing the reverse voltage, force on these electrons keep on increasing, and at a certain value the diode breakdown occurs. Now what is a breakdown? At this value, this force on an electron will become so large that the electron will be torn out of the bond. Okay, so basically the covalent bond of electrons will be broken and it will be forced to come out of its site, and as a result a large number of electrons will come out of their covalent bonds, because now the applied potential across the diode is quite large. Okay, so now a large number of electrons will break their bonds, will come out, and as a result a large current flows, although it is still of the order of microampere, but compared to no current it is quite large, and that is why this is called reverse breakdown, and the voltage is called reverse breakdown voltage. So diode breakdown occurs, and a large reverse current flows. This voltage at which this type of breakdown occurs is called reverse breakdown voltage. Okay, reverse breakdown voltage, and is denoted by VRB, you can say, or RB, you can say. Okay, so now we will plot the same thing over a current and voltage axis, and we'll try to figure out the IV characteristics plot or the IV graph for a diode in reverse bias. So if you look at this carefully, first of all we'll plot these in the third quadrant because the current is also reverse current. Okay, and this is your reverse voltage. So this is of the order of microampere, and this is in volts, this and this. Now whatever we had done so far, what we did, we were increasing the reverse voltage, so you keep on increasing the reverse voltage, no current flows, although there is still some current here, but that is, you can say, minority current. It is due to small number of holes present in the n-type region. So you keep on increasing the reverse voltage, no current is there, no current is there, no current is there, and suddenly at a certain value a large current starts flowing through the diode, and diode breakdown occurs at this voltage, and it is denoted by RB. So this is your reverse breakdown of a diode, and that is how your IV graph or plot looks like. Now what is the difference between this voltage and the threshold voltage, and what are the relative values? We'll discuss it in the next section. Okay, so if we plot the forward and reverse bias characteristics together, so it will look like somewhat this as depicted in the figure. So here you can see that VT is the threshold voltage, okay, and it is of the order of, or generally it lies, yeah, of the range of 0.3 to 0.6 0.7 volts, okay, and VRB represents the reverse breakdown voltage, and it can vary from few volts, like say it could be 5 volts, and it could be 80 volts also, depending on the type of diode, like for LEDs or certain Zener diodes, or it can vary from 5 volt, or you can say 10 volt to 80 volt. So your reverse breakdown voltage could be anything, but generally it is higher. It is generally either 10 volt, 24 volt, 40 volts, 80 volts. It could be anything. But if you compare this with threshold voltage, so you can see that it is quite large compared to the threshold voltage. The second thing to be noticed here is the resistance of the diode is quite small in forward bias. Okay, so if we call it as you can say forward bias resistance, okay, or so forward resistance is quite small, forward bias resistance is quite small, is very small, okay. It generally it is of 0.2 0.5 like this, and for an ideal diode it is 0, okay. For ideal diode the forward bias resistance is 0. Similarly, the reverse bias resistance of the diode in reverse bias, you can see from the picture, it is quite large. For a large voltage, the current is still not there, and obviously we are referring to the region before the breakdown, okay. So in reverse bias, you can say in reverse bias resistance is quite large, is very large. And for an ideal diode, the reverse bias resistance is infinity. So from here you can see that the diode easily conducts in forward bias and do not conduct easily in reverse bias.